Well, we're back. We're going to look at English 1118 and talk about the essays on page 26 through 30, and I'm going to give you a tip about the self-test and the PACE test. I had a student, I think his name was Herben, if I'm pronouncing it right, from down in Texas, who used my form on the website, sent me a message, and said, Mr. Anger, I think it would be very helpful for students if you would do a video about the essays and what's expected, and some tips about what to anticipate on the self-test and PACE test. So let's do that, all right? Go to page 26 with me, and that's right after the checkup. And you'll notice there's this page, Bargains for the Thrifty. Now you might be tempted to say, oh, let me just skip that, it's just a story. But it's actually important that you read that because you're going to use some of the content from that page, as well as on page 27, when you do the assignment here, that comes from the reading, as well as some of the things you're doing down here at the bottom of the page. Then you're going to use the content from there to write two essays. So now turn ahead to page 29 and page 30. All right. So here on 29 is an essay that says, explain how a Christian can handle money wisely. So that's an explanatory, all right? Expository might be a better word for that. So you're just explaining and giving reasons why, okay? How you can, Christian can handle money wisely. Then, using the same story, some of the same ideas that you saw in the previous pages that you read, over here it says, follow the steps and answer the following essay question. Contrast Susie's ideas about money with the biblical principles illustrated by Sandy and Christy. So now you're going to be making statements like, while Susie thought such and such, the Bible says this. Or Sandy and Christy chose to do this, which is better than how Susie handled it, which was da 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 da. So you're contrasting and showing examples on both sides. And again, it says to refer to page 26 and 27 for ideas. All right, so then let's go back and look at page 28. Are you supposed to do anything on this page? And it's a little deceiving. I know I've helped students with this before, and it looks like, okay, what am I supposed to write? It says I'm supposed to write an essay, but what is the essay? And how am I supposed to use this checklist if I haven't written the essay? Do I just choose anything I want? And actually, no. This is not, there's really nothing to do on here. You're just reading and noticing that for a good essay, you have to have a thesis statement. So you're going to, it's like a topic sentence, but very clearly stating what is your essay about. Then you should write an outline on separate paper with your main points, at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 points that you want to make in your essay. You should always end with a good conclusion, and then you actually write it. Once you write it, then you go back and using this checklist, you can go back and edit it, mark it up, and then do a final draft. And of course, it's easier if you do this on the computer. Print out your rough draft, mark it up, double space it, and then you can do your final draft, okay? So when you get to page 29 and page 30, they're showing you that you're following this procedure. You're following these steps to do the essay on page 29 and 30. So you're not going to actually mark anything up. So like right away, once you read it, you read the directions, you can circle the page number. There's nothing to grade on page 28. All right, real quick. On the self-test, there is an essay, as you can see. I mean, it's right here on the back of your page. It says, write your essay here. And it says to do an outline on separate paper. Remember, that's one of the steps here. And then there should be a thesis statement. So the bottom of page 34, you read this excerpt from the diary, and then you're supposed to answer the question, explain Miss Havergal's method of writing her hymns. So you come up with a statement first, and then 3 or 4 reasons or the steps that she would follow, and then you just write it. So there's nothing further back that you have to read or study or prepare other than to just know you're going to follow these steps. And all the information you need is on the self-test, so there's nothing to really study for, and then you write it. I always tell my students they can type it on the computer. They don't have to handwrite it. Sometimes it's easier for me to read it if they do it on the computer. All right, and then finally on the PACE test, I'll just give you this clue. You're not going to have to write an essay. Yay! They will provide an essay for you, and then you'll analyze looking for the correct thesis statement and come up with an outline based on what they have already written as being the essay. But good number of points on the PACE test are going to be the diagramming that you've covered earlier in this PACE. Okay, so anyways, I hope that helps you, and thank you, Herben, for the suggestion, and we'll get this uploaded soon.